Good morning. I don't know about you all, but I could have just sat and listened to Chris play for like another 20 minutes. I am Amy Firestein, her, she pronouns, and I look forward to sharing leadership of today's service with Rev. Bran Lennox. Whoever you are, wherever you live, whomever you love, and however you may spend your days, you are welcome at the Unitarian Church of Harrisburg. We invite you to join us downstairs for coffee hour following this morning's service or online via Zoom. I invite you to take this moment now to hold our space as sacred by silencing your electronic devices and preparing yourself to be present. Online or in person, we are grateful for this time together.
We are a congregation that welcomes the many, many ways that there are to be a human being. We commit ourselves to accessibility and to full welcome of everything that we are. And that includes being welcoming to the sounds that we make. And we love our friends who deal with Tourette's. And so when we hear their beautiful voices in this service, we welcome that too. We have chosen to bring ourselves here to this sanctuary to gather as a community of faith. We join together in solidarity as a covenanted people who are drawn together by the promise of connection and the mysterious pull of the unanswerable. As seekers, wanderers, appreciators of nature, and creators of connection, our paths have converged today so that we might become present to the spirit that is worship. And so let us worship together. Please rise with me in body or spirit, and let's join in song. Each week it is our tradition to light a chalice, which casts a circle of light to hold us all. As we create anew this symbol of our shared faith, let's reflect on these words by Elizabeth Barish Brown. From our very first breath, we reach out. Co-regulation, not self-regulation, is in our nature. We find our cues from the sun and the moon, from each parent and caregiver. We find our place in this great turning planet by turning to one another, generation to generation. We awaken to the dawn and fall asleep at the evening's end. Our life's journey is part of something greater, something simple, something divine. A flame cannot be lit without a spark. A life cannot begin without the air. And we cannot begin to find ourselves without love. May we reach out to one another. May we offer love and nurturing care. May we join together in celebration of the interdependence of our lives.
When we gather in community, it's important to remind ourselves and each other of why we are here and what we've agreed to do together. Here at UCH, we've decided our goals are to encourage each other, to equip each other with what we need to succeed, and to empower each other to do good things. We renew this promise by reading our covenant together. Love is the spirit of this congregation, and service is our gift. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another.
The Transgender Day of Remembrance falls on November 20th each year. I want to share a reflection in honor of this observance with all of you, which was written by my colleague Sam Ames. Transgender Day of Remembrance is a complicated ritual, especially in a community for whom ritual is complicated. And especially today when we find ourselves under seemingly constant attack. As we pause to recognize a year that included 69 lives lost to violence, we have to also recognize a year that included 616 anti-trans state bills, 101 federal bills, 6 executive orders, a history-making Supreme Court decision, and 3 more cases on the way. Those numbers have consequences. Research has linked policies like these to a massive increase in violence, a consequence some policymakers seem to not only accept, but delight in. What we now know as the Transgender Day of Remembrance started in the mid-90s after a series of murders in Boston, predominantly of Black transgender women. It was a time when the media, if it covered trans people at all, did so as either a nameless victim or a godless predator. The targeted killing of our ancestors almost never made the news, and when it did, it was nearly without exception as a salacious headline and under a dead name, a name used prior to transition. As it almost always is, the violence was the message. You either don't exist or you don't deserve to. 26 years ago on this night, a group of trans people gathered to grieve the murder of their sister. Her name was Rita Hester. The Boston media had covered her death, but had predictably sensationalized it. In their coverage of her final hours, they talked about her double life, her strange transgender lifestyle, and her work as a call girl. Newspapers made the intentional editorial decision to misgender her. When they used her name at all, they put it in quotes, but more often they used a name she had never wanted to hear again. It was the community of beloveds that she built around her, her family, that made sure she was grieved the way she deserved, with love and respect and in her own name. And that naming turned out to be her legacy. Every year since that night, the trans community has gathered for a ritual of our own making to honor those we've lost in the past year by grieving them the way they deserve. Trans Day of Remembrance is and always has been about more than the memory. It's about grief. And we find ourselves today in a moment of profound grief. The names of the dead are a reminder that the fear many of us are feeling right now isn't without reason. We know that fear falls most heavily upon the most marginalized. We know what happens when a group of people is seen as either disposable or dangerous. But we also know what protects them: strong community, culturally competent care, and people who speak up. Especially set against erasure, violence is a message made louder when we are silent. So it is traditional for Trans Day of Remembrance rituals to involve the reading of the names of all those who have been lost to transphobic violence in the past year. And this year, here and now, instead of remembering these individuals through reading their 69 names aloud, I have another invitation for us. In this basket that Amy's holding, there are 69 handmade ornaments, each with one name written on it. At any time in the service, especially during our Joys and Sorrows observance, I would like to invite anyone who is willing to come take one or two of these ornaments. Please take it home with you and become a steward of memory. If you are willing, look up the name on it and learn a little bit about the person. Hang the ornament somewhere in your home, perhaps with your holiday decorations if you would like to offer a loving family to their spirit for the holidays. Remind yourself now and again of this individual and send them the love that they deserved to feel in life. Don't let them be forgotten. Thank you for being a community that cherishes all people and uplifts those who are pushed to the margins. The welcome we offer one another is the strength of our existence.
It's Your World Now by Barry Falls. Little one, come walk with me. There is so much for us to see, and I will tell you as we go some things a little one should know. You see, my little buttercup, I've learned some things as I've grown up. Oh yes, I've learned a trick or two, and I can pass them on to you. 3 simple rules that you will find and useful things to bear in mind. The first of them is rather fun. Lesson number 1, the world is full of marvelous things, like cats that purr and birds that sing, like ships that sail the ocean blue and trees and lakes and mountains too, like brightly colored butterflies, like rock and roll and lullabies, like midnight feasts and morning cuddles, crunchy leaves and splashy puddles, chocolate cake and ice cream sundaes, never-ending summer fun days. As for you, my bouncing ball, well, you can truly have it all. Yes, you can set the world alight, my child so small, your future's bright. See, kids like you undoubtedly can choose whatever they want to be and be that thing quite splendidly. The best that thing in memory. Perhaps you'll be a film director, cook or vet or tax inspector, acrobat or deep sea diver, judge or nurse or race car driver. With hard work and application, you can rise to any station, president or CEO. There's nowhere that you cannot go. Perhaps you'll fly among the stars to start a colony on Mars, or build the world's first time machine and go where no one's ever been. You'll test the limits, break the rules. You'll have no fear. You're no one's fool. You'll venture into worlds unknown. The power of you is yours alone. Oh, how I wish that I could say, that's all you'll need to learn today. But I could never lie to you. Alas, it's lesson number 2. Things won't always go your way. You cannot always win the day. You will not always be the best or finish first or ace that test. You will not always live the dream or be the cat to get the cream or claim the prize for every game or hear the people chant your name. In fact, sometimes they'll lecture you on how to speak and what to do. They'll say, "No, you can't have it all, oh little one, you're very small. Just know your place and be content. You'll never be a president, that kind of thing is just for dreams. It's not as easy as it seems. Don't be pushy, don't be bold, just do exactly as you're told. They'll tell you where you ought to go and list the things you ought to know." Wait a second, is it true? Is that what I'm doing too? Do I believe because I'm tall, my little one, I know it all? Perhaps the best thing on reflection is to go your own direction. Lessons that have worked for me may not apply to you, you see. Your life is yours and yours alone, and you'll discover on your own just who you are and why you're here. But even so, I'll persevere. For one last lesson, then we're done. It's the most important one. I've saved the best to last, you see. It's time for lesson number 3. The only thing you need to know above all else: I love you so. Of this, at least, I have no doubt. The rest, I can't say much about, so go and play and live and learn. It's your world now. This is your turn to think and ask and make and do. This world is magic, just like you. So paint a picture, climb a tree, pretend to be a bumblebee, break a record, make a thing, scream and shout and dance and sing. Do all of this or none at all. It's up to you. Kid, it's your call. Just remember as you go, the single thing you need to know, the golden rule that bears repeating, true as long as my heart's beating, from your head down to your toe, no matter what, I love you so. A reading by Quinn Gormley. I locked myself out of my car recently. I called a garage and they sent a technician. Apparently he tried to call me on the way over and I missed it. He left a voicemail, which meant he heard my message. "Hello, you've reached Quinn at the main transgender network. My trans status isn't a secret. Being public about it is part of my job. But being public and being out to random men on the side of a quiet rural road are very different things." He arrived and we wrestled back into my Subaru. After handing over my insurance card, he got quiet for a minute. Nervously, he asked, "You do the rainbow thing?" It took me a second to put the pieces together. I froze for a moment. This question doesn't usually end well. Tentatively, I answered, "Yeah, I do the rainbow thing. Is that a problem?" He shook his head and took a deep breath, and then he started to talk. Seen from behind at the beach, a father, his arm lovingly wrapped around his child's shoulder. His kid came out a few nights ago and wants to transition. He's very worried. He watches the news. He knows how trans kids get treated. I do too. I was a trans kid. I released the breath I'd been holding. This was a conversation I know how to have. We talked for a while about how cruel the world is, about how his kid might very well get hurt. Lots do. He's afraid to let them transition. But then we talked about how we can't control the world. His kid is different and might get hurt either way. So why not let them control what happiness they can? You can teach them how to handle the rest. We talked about how happy kids are safer kids because happy kids have adults they can ask for help. A hug, a trading of numbers, and a few tissues later, and he was on his way to the store to buy his son a clip-on tie and those Spider-Man shoes he didn't give him for his birthday. Sometimes the story does end well.
Let's join together now in the spirit of meditation, opening our hearts and minds to these brief but wonderful words of prayer offered by M. Flett, age 9. A loving arm shelters me from any harm. The shelteredness of kindness flows around me. Now is the time when we engage as a community in the sharing of our joys and sorrows, our concerns and our milestones. When we join together to hold each other in support and in celebration, we deepen our sense of interrelationship. We may find our sorrows eased and our joys magnified. I invite you to share them now through writing them on a slip of paper at the back of the room or typing them in your virtual chat. Please indicate whether your message is okay to share out loud. Please also, if you're writing for somebody else, make sure that you got their okay before you share their joy or sorrow. You can also honor whatever you're holding in your heart by placing a stone into the water of community. Please come down the center aisle, returning to your seats by the side aisles. Spoken or unspoken, our hearts join with yours in carrying all that life brings. place 2 final stones in the water today, one for those who are here with us in memory, if not in body, and one for those many joys and sorrows held so deeply by human beings around the world today. Jim Kavanaugh shares, "This past Tuesday, I was one of 140 plus people in our Pennsylvania Capitol for our health, our lives, our lobby day, speaking out for reproductive justice, and we were heard." Rima Cameron shares, "Grateful to be able to join my family in Texas for Thanksgiving and to celebrate my mother's 84th birthday this week." We have an anonymous contribution which says, "Thankful for the Cadence concert last night, and to UCH for hosting it." Miles McGovney has a joy for us. They say, "Yesterday, my spouse and I, both of us transgender, celebrated the 1-year anniversary of our marriage here in this church." I have an anonymous sorrow. "Children are at the mercy of whoever their caretaker is, and that's a big sorrow." For all that has been shared and those many concerns we hold deep in our hearts and yet remain unspoken, we journey with each other in love. Here at the Unitarian Church of Harrisburg, we are big on human rights. Although the United States has regrettably withdrawn from the United Nations Human Rights Council, we can still look to the UN Declaration as an authoritative text on the matter. Here's an abridged list of these rights. All human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights. They are endowed with reason and conscience and should act towards one another in a spirit of brotherhood. Everyone has the right to life, liberty, and security of person. No one shall be held in slavery or servitude. Slavery and the slave trade shall be prohibited in all their forms. No one should be subjected to torture or to cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment or punishment. Everyone has the right to recognition everywhere as a person before the law. All are equal before the law and are entitled without any discrimination to equal protection of the law. No one shall be held guilty of any penal offense on account of any act or omission which did not constitute a penal offense under national or international law at the time when it was committed. No one shall be subjected to arbitrary interference with his privacy, family, home, or correspondence, nor to attacks upon his honor and reputation. Everyone has the right to own property alone as well as in association with others. No one shall be arbitrarily deprived of his property. Everyone has the right to freedom of thought, conscience, and religion. This right includes freedom to change his religion or belief. Everyone has the right to hold freedom of opinion and expression. This right includes freedom to hold opinions without interference. Everyone has the right to take part of the government of his country, directly or through freely chosen representatives. Everyone has the right to rest and leisure, including reasonable limitation of working hours and periodic holidays. And this is an extraordinary list, a necessary list, and the standard for what we consider to be meaningful society. And it's also a deeply flawed document, first and foremost, because it completely ignores the largest and most marginalized population of human beings in today's world, and that is children. Everyone is a strong word to use, when in truth these rights only apply to persons over 18 years of age. Each of the articles that I just read fails to apply to children in today's society, especially in regards to what we consider the rights of parents to make decisions about parenting without interference. Interestingly enough, in 1989, the United Nations did create an entire second declaration known as the Convention on the Rights of the Child, which sets out the civic, political, economic, social, health, and cultural rights of children. And the only country in the UN at the time which did not and never has ratified this treaty is the United States of America. The opposition to ratification largely came from the Christian right, which viewed the document as a threat to parents' rights to serve as their family's ultimate moral authority. Other opponents claimed that this would interfere with our court's ability to prosecute juvenile offenders. In spaces like this, we so strongly believe that no person should be the belonging of another person, and yet we never talk about how in this country, children are absolutely owned by their parents. Now, I want to be clear at this point in stating I am not a parent. I am not calling in anybody here for your own parenting decisions. I completely understand that parenting is complicated and philosophies and standards change over time. But I am here speaking as a person with a brain and a heart who can recognize that a population with no voting rights, no direct government representation, no legal freedoms, and very few meaningful legal protections is a profoundly disenfranchised population. It's the definition of it. That a group of human beings whose freedoms are both socially and legally considered a lower priority than those of the people with the most direct power over them, that profound injustice is being done to them. I want you to imagine this. Picture yourself at the age that you are today. Today, somebody in your home has virtually full financial control over your life. This person has the power to decide when you get up in the morning and when you go to bed at night. They are the authority on what foods you eat and what hobbies you pursue. They have the right to punish you anytime they like, in whatever way they so choose, so long as they don't cross a line into noticeable and provable physical abuse. This person can cut you off from your friends and anyone you're dating. They can tell you what religious beliefs and practices you follow. They can decree what books you are allowed to read, what movies you may watch. They can decide how you decorate your personal spaces at home. They decide what medicine you take and what gender you are allowed to present as. I don't know about you, but I would be depressed and outraged in this situation. Every single child in America is living under those circumstances. Until the day they turn 18, their parents or legal guardians are free to operate in exactly this way. And yes, many families choose to treat their children with dignity and parent them compassionately. But that is 100% entirely up to the choice of the individual parent. The children have no accepted or protected rights. Children's liberation in the United States refers not to an effort to give them rights, but to flashy rescue missions where trafficked and abused children are rescued and returned to their families. Do you know where children are most likely to be trafficked and abused? At home. Young people are also more susceptible to grooming when a predator is the only adult who seems to take them seriously. Truly, most of us are not even picturing children when we think of human rights. This is due to a phenomenon known as adult centrism, the tendency to believe that an adult perspective is more valid than an underage one. Adult centrism impacts elders as well. As one sociologist in the field said, children, according to the pillar of adult centrism, are seen as the future and are therefore not yet full human beings capable of making choices. The elderly are considered past their prime and are often seen as a burden on society. Children are the future, elders are the past, and a population roughly comprised of the workforce are the only true humans now. The now humans are carrying the exhausting load of not only supporting the young, the disabled, and the elderly, but also making all of their decisions for them, managing their personhood. No wonder we're all exhausted. And no wonder teens are reporting ever-rising rates of despair. Now, Unitarian Universalism does have a leg up on the general population regarding attitudes towards children in many ways. I believe that we UU adults aspire to see children and youth as people. We did develop the extraordinary coming-of-age tradition, which welcomes young people to share their individual beliefs and convictions aloud with the congregation and be celebrated. We have the religious education legacy of people like Sophia Lyon-Foz, who believed in helping children develop creativity and curiosity about the world. Our OWL program, Our Whole Lives, comes from our history of being on the cutting edge of comprehensive sex education, which is proven to improve kids' safety by giving them agency over their bodies. Our faith culture encourages us to affirm and uplift our kids. And yet, we UUs have a long way to go in fully recognizing their humanity. It's a sore spot for us, but you can really see that gap when you notice who isn't in the room with us. So very few kids who grew up UU have continued to participate in our faith. Millennials and especially Generation Alpha make up only a tiny percentage of our congregations. What we've been seeing for years is that after young UUs graduate from youth group, they never come back. And this is one of the great troubling mysteries of our people right now, but if you ask me, it's not really a mystery at all. My theory is that children and youth are never treated as though they are real, full members of our congregations. They are effectively participating in a completely different community than that of adult UUs. We have few to no true intergenerational activities. Kids rarely participate in worship, and when they do, they can expect reactions which fail to uphold their dignity. I've seen it many times. Adult UUs treat them as cute or funny entertainment, laughing at their earnestness or subjecting them to condescending and dismissive praise. Trust me, they know when adults are talking down to them. They're not really people, and then when they are, it's just in time for us to bridge them away to college. It takes some real fortitude and investment in Unitarian Universalism for a young person to prioritize our faith enough to discover what it means to participate as an adult. I don't have any blame for those who, lacking evidence of a meaningful place among us, moved on. I am aware that I'm preaching this sermon on a day when we did not plan for all ages worship. I'm preaching to the adults in the room right now. And that is intentional. I want us to take action on deeper inclusion of our young people and their agency in our community life. But first, we need to have a reality check moment among those of us who hold the power in this hierarchy. It wouldn't be right to ask the kids to take on the emotional labor of being present with us as we approach these uncomfortable realities. And here's the thing. It is uncomfortable. We don't want to feel like we've been falling short. This right now is an invitation to let go of shame together and recognize that we can do better once we know better. If we make any meaningful change, it's also going to be an awkward change of pace for our young people themselves. They will need some time to adjust to the experience of being taken seriously. They might not be their best selves at first, and it's up to us to have patience and grace with that process. I also want to acknowledge the awkwardness of accepting that young people have unique gifts to share in our community. First of all, we want to believe that we already do, so there's the step of admitting we could be doing better. Second, we are so deeply programmed as adults to uphold the existing pattern of power, and we are taught to see our worth in comparison with that of children, unless they are our own children and their accomplishments reflect well on our parenting. If we acknowledge that we need the leadership and knowledge of young people, we risk realizing some of the power and authority, we risk releasing some of the power and authority of adulthood. It's very vulnerable. It's even more vulnerable because if we grant them agency, children may not choose to collaborate with us. We have to put more time and energy into making our community a place where children want to show up. It's not easy. But as the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. wrote, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. We cannot look away from the injustice which we find in the failure of our society to uphold rights and dignity for underage people. We can and we must start in our own families, our own communities, and here in our own congregation. Maybe someday we will see real change on a systemic level. For now, let's fight for a better quality of life for the children right here in front of us. Let's practice treating them as complete persons. Let's show them that we see them, we care, and we know their humanity matters. Our kids are worth fighting for, and that includes their freedom.
Good morning. I am Deb Pushkar, and I serve on the UCH Board of Trustees. I'm here to represent the important labor and leadership that board members offer to keep this congregation thriving. The Unitarian Church of Harrisburg is, as always, an intentionally gathered congregation of freely thinking, loving people. The church is created, sustained, and supported by us. Each week we take up an offering where we ask each other to share money to support the church. We also use half of this money to help a charity which is doing important work to improve the world. For the month of November, we are sharing with the Harrisburg Area Food Pantry, formerly known as Ecumenical Food Pantry. HAFP supports those in the greater Harrisburg area experiencing food insecurity, primarily by providing emergency food assistance. In just a moment, the greeters will start passing offering plates around. You can put cash or checks in the plate when it comes by. You can also donate online by scanning the QR code on the back of your order of service or by visiting uchbg.org and scroll to the bottom of the page for options. Your financial support and commitment matter. Please consider giving what you're able.
Fierce Urgency by Ashley Horan. My 4-year-old daughter has taught me this lesson. When a child wants to derail business as usual, to curb the hubris of adults who dare believe in schedules and plans and productivity, one fierce little body and one clear, piercing voice strategically applied to the right pressure point will change the course of the day's events. My comrades in organizing have taught me this lesson. When a silenced people want to be heard, to raise from dry bones a living, breathing dream of new ways of moving, being, incarnating freedom. One small, tenacious group whose hearts beat in rhythm, rising shoulder to shoulder against the inevitable, will bend the arc from impossibility to hope. Our young climate leaders are teaching us this lesson. When the grown-ups and the old movements are too slow as the sea levels rise and the hurricanes rage and the migrants flee and the corporations profit, one generation, both young and silenced, refusing to accept an inheritance of doom, will take toward the streets and move us toward life. Blessings upon them as they teach us, organize us, beckon us in, and call us out. May their fierce urgency and uncompromising clarity show us the path toward healing and freedom and hope.
This benediction was adapted from the words of M. Jade Kaiser. May we be faithful and honest companions in telling the story of what is and has been. May we be trustworthy comrades in the ordinary tasks of disruption and repatterning toward a different kind of relating. May we be lasting friends to the cause of all our freedom and flourishing. Amen. Ashe.